Well, in Burkina Faso, they have cancelled a show, a reality TV show that's been broadcasted by Canal Plus. Canal Plus or Canal Plus is a broadcaster from France. They've cancelled a specific show. They don't want it to be broadcast in the country anymore because they say it's undermined the values of the country. Is it okay to tell your neighbor to not bring any input or to not teach your son anything about their religion because you don't necessarily adhere to it? Is it okay to still have a good friendship with the neighbor after you told them not to feed your child cakes? I mean, your child goes to their house very regularly because your child has a friend in their house, but your children or their children eat a lot of cakes, therefore they became big or fat. I'm sorry. But you don't want your child to be that way. Is it okay for you to say to them, hey, please, could you not give my child some of those cakes with peanuts, butter, and Nutella at the same time? Please, without them feeling triggered or them feeling like you're feeling some sort of superiority? Is it okay to say, okay, I don't want you to teach my child to do things the way you do them because they're my child, they're my children? Is it okay? I mean, I remember many years ago, this happened in South Africa as I was traveling many years ago. I was much younger. And I went to this house. It was in Cape Town. I'll never forget. And I got into the house. I found the mother of the house in the bathroom, sitting on the toilet seat, whilst her son was getting into the toilet to try to get a piece of soap or something. I was friends with the son and I was shocked. And to them, it looked perfectly fine. It was no problem. She was there with and the door was open. The bathroom door was open, and the boy just went inside, took whatever he was looking for, toilet paper, whatever. Oh, his mom is taking a dump, and yeah, I was like, wow, like I would never be able to do that. Like, even if in the wildest dream I ever was about to do that, my mom would hit me with the hammer on the head. Like, how? Just crazy. I mean, this was a colored family in Cape Town, because in South Africa you get whites, blacks, colored Indians. So coloreds are not blacks; they're very different. Unlike in America, where colored are black people, in South Africa, coloreds are different. They're mixed race. Anyway, that's another subject. I was very, very shocked, and I saw the father with the daughter in the same situation, and I was the mother coming in the lounge in the underwears, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna leave, because to them it was normal, absolutely normal. It didn't mean there was anything sexual to it at all. They look like a normal family, and I'm sure everything else is just normal. I mean, beside that, does that mean I should agree to that? No. So it means families are different, values are different, goals and objectives are different. Now, should you be perceived as a bad person because you're trying to guide your child into one specific direction? What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. We're going to go straight to the point. Burkina Faso is the country. Beautiful place, lovely people. Well, in Burkina Faso, they have cancelled a show, a reality TV show that's been broadcasted by Canal Plus. Canal Plus or Canal Plus is a broadcaster from France. They've cancelled a specific show. They don't want it to be broadcast in the country anymore because they say it's undermined the values of the country. So the Burkinabe regulator has requested that this show be pulled away because the show is about a seduction game. They said the seduction game in the show involved young ladies devaluing women by undermining their dignity. Now, the show is about ladies wanting to get a man. I think it's called Qui veut épouser mon fils. Qui veut épouser mon fils stands for who wants to marry my son. So in other words, who want to marry my son? And you can understand what's happening. These are single ladies trying to get the attention of a guy. Now, it's not just the guy. It's the guy's mother as well who's involved. So the ladies have to do whatever they can to please the guy and his mother. So because it's a show, everybody want to win, and not necessarily because of the right reasons, they will do anything to get to a point where they please the guy and his mother. Therefore, it looks like it's undermining women and reducing them to what they're not. So the Burkina Faso government say we're not going to have this anymore. And this is not the first time. They've cancelled another show before. That show was called The Bachelor. I'm sure you heard about The Bachelor. It's a Western show. Okay, they just felt like, okay, these little Africans like to copy us. Therefore, let's go bring an African version of our shows. How about that? And because Africans love that, they want to be like the colonizers. They're always trying to do the same thing as the colonizers. The proof in the pudding. In most of these countries in Western Africa, French-speaking countries, they all try to sound as much French as possible. Yeah, if you sound like you don't sound like a Frenchman, for them, you're not very intelligent. So the government said, we're not going to stand for this. The show is undermining women. It feels like sort of a prostitution, take me for a cheap price kind of show. We're not going to tolerate this. They've asked the French TV channel to cancel this specific show. Now, is this right or wrong? Is this a form of dictatorship? Because some people are saying Ibrahim Traoré is very slowly becoming a dictator. Now, why do you want to run other people's life like that? Why do you want to tell people what they can watch on TV or not? Why is that important? Why is that your duty? How about you take care of government and you let people make their own choices when it comes to TV shows? Can the government say, I don't want to watch this. I don't want my children to be focused on this type of situation? Well, this is not the first time. Let's check what Burkina Faso has done since some time. Well, they prohibited many things. They've prohibited colonial era judicial wigs. You remember those blonde looking wigs that many people in justice wear? I don't know why African wear. Why do you wear that? Why do you need to wear that to be relevant? I mean, that's how they made you feel. They need you to be a little bit like them for you to feel relevant, or else whatever coming out of your mouth is meaningless. You need a little bit to look like them for you to be relevant. In a move to decolonize the nation legal system and promote cultural identity, President Traoré banned judges from wearing British and French colonial style wigs. Was that a good thing or not? The next thing that was banned was certain media outlets. President Traoré administration prohibited several American French media organizations, including the BBC, the Voice of America, from broadcasting within Burkina. This action was reportedly taken in response to these outlets airing reports that accuse the Burkinabe army of civilian abuse. Okay, it sounds that way for them. But the reality is some of these media outlets allowed terrorists to air on it. Okay, the country is fighting against terrorism. And for some reason, by some magical ways, these BBCs and Voice of America interviewed terrorists and aired them online, while terrorists are explaining themselves on how the government is bad and why they're fighting. So the government felt like, if you're going to come here regularly, if you're going to be here permanently in our country, it's not for you to give them a platform to express themselves. Why do you need to do that? Why do you need to give them an opportunity to say that our army is weak? Are you with us or are you with the terrorists? Like, which TV platform air terrorists? Which American platform aired Taliban's on TV? Would they be accepted in the United States of America? No. They would not be accepted. Now, why would you think that you would do that in an African country? Go and give terrorists a platform to express themselves. That's why they banned these companies. But then they say, well, the reason why they banned us is because we reported the negative things they're doing. Now, that's number two. Number three, Burkina Faso banned men that like other men. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, they criminalized it. So it's unlawful in Burkina Faso for you as a man to go and like another man. They cannot accept that. Now, do they have the right to do that? Is this dictatorship? Should they be stopped because they're trying to regulate what goes on TV? Question mark. Well, this is not the first time. Many countries do it. They're making an emphasis on Burkina Faso. This country here, Saudi Arabia, you cannot allow men to be with other. It's not a. They will throw you overboard. They will put you on a building and throw you over if you're interested in another man. Nobody makes noise about it. They're not called dictatorship. You can't do it in that country. You know why? Well, because they have all the oil in the world. So if you go to war with them, if you as America go to war with them, it's not going to benefit you because you need them. Well, Burkina Faso is little Africans. We need to put pressure on them. They're not Saudi Arabia. In some of these countries, let me give you a simple example. Dubai, you cannot hold hand with your. You can't do that. You and your girlfriend. Some of these countries in Qatar, you can't go in a hotel if you're not married with a woman. You can't. You need to provide your marriage certificate. Nobody says they are terrorists, dictatorship. So it's okay for Qatar, it's okay for Saudi Arabia, but it's bad for Burkina Faso. Well, let's put it this way, in this perspective. So does it make sense for Saudi Arabia to say you're not allowed to do it, but not for Burkina Faso? I mean, people are saying he's a dictator. He's a little dictator. Why would you try to control what people are watching? Let me put it this way for you. Burkina Faso is facing a situation with terrorists where the entire country is not getting any funding coming from international nations like they used to do in the past. Back in the past, when the country was still controlled by the colonialists, they used to receive money from IMF. They used to get money from World Bank. They don't get money from those countries anymore, from those organizations. Why? Because they don't want Africans to be thinking for themselves. So they're going to do anything they can to put them down. Now, Burkina Faso is fighting for themselves. Is this the right time to get everybody distracted into watching some young dude being seduced by females and stuff like that? Isn't this the right time? How about you construct shows that encourage people into nationalism, into patriotism? How about you make shows that encourages young men to build things that are necessary for the nation, like drones, technology, science, and give them $100,000? How about that? Why do you need to promote things that are useless to the country for leisure and entertainment? Is Burkina Faso right now in a space where they need all that entertainment? No. Maybe they feel like it's time for them to get the youth focus onto building a country. I mean, China doesn't allow many things. You can't take your Bible in China and teach Christianity. You can't do that. Nobody bans China for anything. There are many books that cannot enter China. Why? Because China wants to direct China in the Chinese way. Now, should you say this man is a dictator because he feels like our country right now needs investments into youngsters that want to produce engineering, science, biology? Our country needs investment into people that can actually bring something positive to the country. Why do you need everybody to be like Europeans? Why is that necessary? I'm going to give you another example. There's a country named Congo, DRC. I'm sure you heard about this country. Well, in this country, there's a lot of negative things, a lot of sadness. But it's very difficult to know whether it's a country at war or a country in a concert. Because even though there is war every single day in the east part of the Congo, there's concerts happening on the west side of the Congo every single day. Is the country at peace or is the country at war? Now, don't you think that's confusing for the youth? I mean, the country is looking for people. They complain about the army not being strong. The country has about 100 million human beings, but the army is below 100,000 soldiers. How do you explain that? Then they're worried about small countries in the side. Oh, this country is poking us. That country wants to steal our gold. That country wants our uranium. I mean, you have 100 million human beings. What are they for? They just like concerts, music, dancing every single day. Parties. This is the country. Look, you see, this is Kinshasa. This is the capital. That is Goma. Goma is where the war is, all this side. You see all this side here? Right here next to Uganda and Rwanda, that's where all the war and the mayhem is happening. Now, in Kinshasa is where all the majority of the people are. They just dance every single day. Concert. You see the stadium is full. But you ask people to go to the army and defend the nation. They don't want to. Why? Because their mind is strangled into concert. They are distracted. All they do is complain. Oh, this little country is poking us. Oh, that little country want to steal from us. Be man. How do you create a man? You only create a man when you put them on stage where they need to exercise their manhood. You only create man when you put people on stage against a situation where they need to be men. But when you feed them churches, and concert, what kind of man do you think you have? I mean, a country like this should be scaring everybody. All the neighbors should be afraid of them. Well, none of them is afraid of them. They don't respect them. Because all they do is music. Well, Burkina Faso doesn't want that. Does that make the president a dictator? Let me know how you feel about this. It was a great pleasure. God bless.